Why, hello, everyone. I am Christopher Disciple Allen, and here we have some Wood League All-Stars. This will be a bonus episode or episode 7, whichever one I choose, and this is a 5 versus 5 between my viewers. On the blue team, we have Team Peton. On the red team, we have Team Gail. As we get in here, may the odd ones be ever in your favor. Now, a little bit of backstory why I chose some Hunger Games themed teams is because of the All-Stars coming out. 2 representatives from each region getting together in a land of funny costumes, accents, and attitudes to compete in an arena to the death. The All-Stars are the Hunger Games. Sheeple, wake up! Introducing some of our players, we have some very lovely viewers, including Reno here in the jungle. Jeffrick1 will be jungling Vi. Gunblade Knight looks to be the mid laner Lux, with the last Tie Lord playing Lucian, supported by Mr. Blue Winds down in the bottom. And finally, Dragonman979, another mod of mine. Will be up in the top lane is Olaf. Over on our red team, we have CLG DYRONE, straight out of the CLS. Coming at you on Renekton. Over there in the mid lane, it'll be the Coming Storm. And this is really fitting to have the Coming Storm up against the last Tie Lord. If you guys are Whovians, you will understand. Jungling will be Italiano Legend, and in the bottom lane, BSAAG Basajiv and Raft LX. Playing Sivir and Karma, respectively. Basajilv. You have a weird name, but we're going to get right in here for some really high-level play. The highest rank we have in here is Silver 1, going all the way down to level 20, actually. So, there's going to be all levels of skill here, and we'll see where it comes out to. No kills yet, as we're all very clearly aware of, which is surprising because I think like minute 30-second kills are probably the most interesting thing in the game and the most hilarious. A little disappointed that we haven't seen him yet. Looks like DYRONE's going to go pretty aggressively up here, playing up in the minion wave since Renekton has such a powerful early game, but he has to be careful that he doesn't let Dragonman get too many auto attacks off when he's low, because a low Olaf, can be one of the most fearsome predators to go against. Ooh, Italiano Legend coming here for the Mad steals. We have Mod versus Mod here in the jungle. Jeffrick1 gonna jump in Italiano Legend, but miss. Turn right back around on the red buff. Italiano goes in with the Taste Their Fear with the leap, and now goes on the red buff. And this is lasting a lot longer than I think it needs to. The smite goes to Italiano Legend. He turns on the Jeffrick1, but Jeffrick has some support. There's a snare landing the auto attack. The E doesn't connect. Italiano Legend is so low. Gunblade Knight tries to flash in. Can he get it off? Oh, Vault Breaker going to take him out. Get the red buff right back over onto Jeffrick1. And we have 2 for 1 because in the bottom lane, we saw the first blood go down. Let's rewind and see exactly what happened down here. Basajilv going in pretty aggressively with some auto attacks, throwing the spell shield as well, but it doesn't block up anything. Basajilv now tries to come in here. Oh, barrier from the last Tie Lord. Is it going to be enough? No, it's not. Basajilv manages to grab the kill, but Mr. Blue Winds turns right around as a 1-for-1 occurs in the bottom. And then we can see, of course, Jeffrick1, boom, getting the double buffs right back onto his pretty little head. DYRONE and Dragonman continuing to be top laners, exchanging blows, but allowing nothing to happen until he goes in with the Ruthless Predator. Dragonman979 can't quite continue onward. He has to be a little bit afraid. There's no Ignite here on the red team, but Dragonman does have a barrier under his belt, which DYRONE has to be careful of. Ooh, the Coming Storm taking a lot of damage there from the auto attacks, but it's not enough. The Lux passive dealing some massive deeps. From the deep, DYRONE has to be careful. If Dragonman979 lands one more undertow, that could spell death. And it looks like, although there is a kill disparity, our teams are relatively even. Peton grabbing a bit of an early lead, but nothing too significant. Coming Storm really has to be careful here, since Gunblade Knight has a little bit of mana, enough for 1, maybe 2 spells in the future, and could potentially level out the Coming Storm. He has his Ignite as well, and although the Coming Storm has Flash and Barrier, Barrier isn't quite as good up against Ignite, since Barrier only lasts for 2 seconds, while Ignite burns for 5. Ooh, Basajilv and Raft LX are in a trading frenzy. A lot of damage on the Mr. Blue Winds, but he managed to survive the Boomerang Blade, keeping him low enough that he might have to go back. Italiano Legend looks for a pickup onto Dragonman979, but can't connect. The Coming Storm having a rough time. Oh, and Raft LX, I was trying to shift from lane to lane, but the Boomerang Blade was where the action occurred. And that's Sivir with a first kill on herself. Second kill out of this bot lane here for Gail. And a gold advantage, only 200, but hey, that's a couple of wards that will probably never get placed, and some potions that will help keep them in lane to miss a few more CS. Not that they're bad, just that they make mistakes like I do. If you guys have ever seen a game of me, you'll understand why me making fun of people doesn't really have a lot of weight behind it. Dragonman 979 going to take away some farm, trying to salvage some from Jeffrick's tax. And we'll see where the next fight breaks out. Basajilv really looking for something here. The last Tylor doesn't have a lot of health. He has a flash, but no barrier to his name. And with the poke coming out from a Sivir Comrade lane, they're really pushing this forward, going aggressive and landing the kills. The coming Storm has been able to follow him up quite a bit, and if he goes even in farm in the mid, then he will come out ahead in the end because of that Twisted Face passive. Loaded dice, CLG DYRONE. Is the last Undertow going to connect? He wants to juke this out. He can't do it though. Undertow grabs it, and there it is. With the true damage, Dragonman 979 taking it 1 for 0. Now going to be able to clear this out, push it up in the turret, and then back, grab some nice items for himself, push his cannon right into the bush, and then hopefully send as many of these into the turret as he can. Right now, Dragonman's looking pretty strong. He is going to pick up some boots and the Ninja Tabai. Alright, going for a little bit of a safe lane up against Renekton. There's also an AD jungler, which is why early armor is so effective. If you get ganked, then you're in a 1 versus 2 or a 2 versus 2 scenario where your one item works well against both of them. If they had, say, an Evelynn jungler or trying to think of another viable AP jungler, a Moo or something, then maybe early health is what you need. But with this Kha'Zix, turns out the Ninja Tabai are the way to go. Or we will see. Ooh, Boomerang Blade dealing some massive damage. The last Tylord, it won't be snared up because of the spell immunity from the Black Shield. Mr. Bluins doing an excellent job keeping his AD carry safe, but not so sound as he's sticking around on low health. The capital cities will be a little disappointed as he's just trying his best to keep up in farm. He's actually been doing a good job. He's about a wave ahead of Sivir so far, but he has a death to make up for. Jeffrick 1 coming in from behind. Is it going to be enough? He comes in with a Vault Breaker. He knocks back Raft LX. Doesn't do too much damage. He needs the follow-up, but the health bar is just too low on the last Tylord, and they won't be able to find it. Ooh, DYRONE. I don't know if he can trade with Dragonman at this point. He has his ultimate. He throws a Dominus and the Ignite onto Dragonman 979. Hasn't thrown the stun yet. Dragonman could potentially Ragnarok out of it. But right now, DYRONE's looking pretty healthy up here. Ooh, Cole the Meek dealing some massive damage. And DYRONE finally claims the upper hand in this lane. Italiano Legend looking for a pick in the jungle, but not going to find anything quite yet. He hasn't had too much participation in this game after his failed invade earlier, but I'm sure he's looking for a place to go. He's going to find a blue buff here, and it looks like no one will be close since Jeffrick is trying to find his opportunity in the mid. A good snare landing the ultimate as well, and it looks like Jeffrick may not be necessary. Oh, no, the barrier is going to be enough. The coming storm escapes, and that Lucent Singularity isn't going to find too much. Oh, Dragonman and CLG DYRONE. Dragonman pops the barrier. He flashes in, and once again, with a good lightning bolt from the sky, Dragonman 979 takes a double kill. He has the sustain from his flask, but now does he have the jukes to get away from Italiano Legend? He's going to turn around, but Italiano Legend has the isolated damage from Taste Their Fear and will make up a kill. Up in the top lane, our teams are almost even. 200 gold or less separates Peton and Gail. They're both fighting not only for survival, but for the love of a crazy-ass woman. We'll see who can get it in the end. Basajilv and Raft LX pushing up pretty far. Basajilv actually now grabbing a very substantial CS lead after pushing back Lucian a couple of times. Oh, Jeffrick 1 taking a lot of damage. Gets hit up by a big Q from Raft LX and has to back out of here. Jeffrick, with all this lane presence, is definitely helping out the bottom and mid laners, but he really needs some experience to himself. He wants it at that level 6. He needs the Assault and Battery. Not sure he's going to get it. And you know what? If Jeffrick were to compliment the laners as he gets in there, then you could probably call it an Assault and Flattery. fitting that everything went silent. Italian Legend at level 8 will be a substantial amount ahead of Jeffrick here, because he's been a little bit more selfish in his jungle. He's only come onto a lane to take a kill he knows he can get, and other than that, he's just been farming away. He now has a Spirited Elder Lizard, and he's looking to become the predator he was born to be. Ooh, Raft-LX caught up in the snare here. The last High Lord gets some good damage there with the Piercing Light. Raft-LX flashes away. The culling connects on the Basalgil, but it doesn't deal too much damage as per usual. Last High Lord comes in here to try and salvage a kill on the Raft-LX. He's going to be able to find it flashing after. I don't think he can escape from Basalgil's difficult to pronounce name. Ooh, the ult in from Twisted Fate will cut him off, and it looks like the last High Lord may be the last High Lord indeed. His lineage ends here, and such is his story. CLG DYRONE having a rough time up in the top lane. Oh, he pops the Dominus just to not die to an Undertow. And this, Oh, Jeffrick! What? Jeffrick! He got the steal! He goes in with his own battery. Is he going to be able to get a kill out of it as well? No, he may fall, but it'll all be worth it in the end. After stealing away that dragon, I was not expecting that whatsoever. Best mod NA. Oh, CLG DYRONE, you know, you dicing the wrong way, you slicing, but it's just not going to be enough. Dragonman979 now on a killing he was shut down, so he's not on a spree, but he has taken 3 consecutive kills up against CLG DYRONE. He may have to decide on a team, because right now it's looking like his split between TSM and CLG definitely giving him some good potential, but he needs consistency, and other words that we say a lot about LCS. It's interesting to note how these AP-style mage supports have come into the meta right now. We can see the Frostfang already completed on Basalgil, which is giving him some AP. It's also giving him a nice amount of harass and gold income. Now Italian Legend going to show his own amount of harassment. Somebody better file a report with HR, because it looks like that is going to be a total demolition. Gunblade Knight doesn't get knocked up by the wild cards. Italian Legend really wants this kill. He hits him with the Void Spikes. Gunblade Knight lands the snare. The Coming Storm needs one more ability to connect here. Wildcard's gonna pick him up. No! He stops running! Did he taunt there? If he taunted. Whew. In the bottom lane, Basalgil manages to find yet another kill. Now his 3rd of the game. He's almost up to his BF sword. And after a rampage through the jungle, Dragonman979 will recall to safely. Italian Legend is on the hunt, but I don't think he'll find him. There's a safe recall. And he'll go right back to buying what is now a Bilgewater Cutlass going into that Blade of the Ruined King. That'll give him some good chase, some good sustain, and a whole lot of damage up onto CLG DYRONE, who has gone for a particularly aggressive build himself, stopping for the Vampiric Scepter instead of picking up something a lot safer like the Ninja Tabai, like some health early, maybe a Giant's Belt or a Chain Vest. And so, with this build, he will be able to sustain if he can auto-attack much, but up against this aggressive Olaf, I don't know that he can find that amount of leeway. Oh, Mr. Blue wins. Mr. Blue Wins really needs to land the snare here, but he gets it right onto the cannon minion, which means a lot of damage on the Morgana, and it appears his mistake was his fall, going down there for the 4th kill. Basalgil on a rampage. Actually going for an Infinity Edge for the first item, not going to be caught up in those high AD ratios on the Boomerang Blade. Instead, just going for a crit build, the Coming Storm, maybe the Going Storm, as he gets taken out under the turret. 3-on-1. The odd ones were not in his favor, and so he will have to wait in base, think about what he's done, and hopefully come back a better man. About to get his Lich Bane, but not quite finding the gold to do so. Interesting to see Italian Legend going for a Hex Drinker in this matchup, since there's quite a bit of attack damage on the enemy team. There's a Lucian, Vi, and Olaf who deal primarily attack damage. It's really only Morgana and Lux who can throw out those spells to great effectiveness. However, he feels like he needs a spell shield so he can dive in a little bit better, so he can survive the soul shackles from Morgana as well. We'll see how well it works. Ooh, Jeffrick, can he go in here? I don't know that he can be quite so cavalier up against Basalgil, although he is out of mana and does waste a spell shield. Raftel X, the target of the onslaught, but Jeffrick, once again, not backed up by his bottom lane. Can't quite connect in there, doesn't want to throw his assault. Actually, I'm sure he wanted to throw his assault and battery, but of course it was on cooldown. Dragonman979, did he press forward a little bit too far? Italian Legend tries to go in here. He stealths for the movement speed, but the undertows connecting again and again. He stealthed in once again. CLG DYRONE dealing the damage he can find, but it looks like Dragonman might just be fast enough. No, the stun comes in, and that is the grab. Italian Legend picks it up for himself. His 4th kill, a rampage for this Kha'Zix as well. And it appears our game is not over yet. Nay, it is just beginning. With only 2,000 gold separating the teams, that is a few items potentially, nothing too complete, and so this could certainly be anyone's game yet. Maybe Gail has the lead now, but Peton, if he can break that bread, if he can break the bed and bake the bread, then who knows? Maybe able to come back with this. Ooh, the coming storm. Falling pretty low, but he's going to switch into the stun card. A tiny legend comes in, but the Taste of Fear isn't going to be quite enough damage, and he can't survive this. Oh, the snare almost connecting, and that could have been doom for the coming storm. Basalgil just clearing out this bottom lane now at 106 farm. Ooh, the slow connects on the last High Lord, but he escapes with his life. I don't know that he'll escape with this turret for too long, since Morgana doesn't have the best wave right now. Boomerang Blade! Picking up a rampage here for this severe. Mr. Bluin's going down as well. My camera jerking around because I'm just so excited about what's happening here. The coming storm farming up this mid lane. Oh, look at those minions. No, Mr. Minions, no. He didn't get any of them. I'm disappointed in you, the coming storm. Italian Legend looking to make a reappearance at this dragon. Last time it was stolen away by Jeffrick. He did have to sacrifice his life for it, but here he won't arrive in time. That'll be Italian Legend smiting it away, giving his team a good burst of gold. Dragon Man doing his best to carry this out for his team. I'm going to press the wrong button, and there he is. Now taking this turret down to below half, but he's getting collapsed on. He has the Ragnarok to escape. He has a flash and barrier as well. The coming storm is on pretty low health, and he runs around the way that doesn't connect with his stun card. And so Dragon Man will get off scot-free this time. Oh, Dragon Man's going to find Italian Legend here. He's going to turn on him. He has the undertow. He has the auto attacks. Italian Legend jumps to the wall, but the undertow connects. Gets him the shutdown. Dragon Man 979 is looking huge here. 5-2-1. Now finding the coming storm who pulled the red card. Not the one he needed. And although he red cards Dragon Man, he won't be out of the game anytime soon. Raftel X, the next target. But Jeffrick just doesn't have the confidence nor the actual cooldowns to continue in there. What this roam in from Raftel X did was leave their bottom turret defended by Sivir, but look at this wave clear. He's been able to keep this as alive as possible. Dragon Man almost going down to DYRONE, but Jeffrick, ever the savior, bringing this out. Best mod and a 2,500 separating these two teams. It looks like Dragon Man is just trying to put this team on his back, and it's not that anyone is slacking too hard, except potentially this bottom lane, who've been having a difficult time so far. 1-4 and 1-5. Lucian going to try and get that Trinity Force, so he'll give him a bit of mobility. Every time he lands an auto attack, he does get a brief boost of movement speed, but Sivir's like, yo, I have that on a passive ability, son. Because when Sivir talks to black guys, her voice changes in an inappropriate way. Dragon Man up in the top lane, finally taking out that turret, proving he means business. He doesn't mean in the corporate mundo kind of way. He's now going to roam towards the mid, try and help out his Lux, who is being pounced upon. Gunblade Knight going to go down there to the Taste of Fear from Italian Legend. He couldn't quite escape from the snare from Raftel X. And with Dragon Man coming from the side, I don't know that he can find this. He's been spotted. He throws out the undertow. He slows his pursuit. Italian Legend jumps over the wall. Is he going to land the Void Spikes? He does get the slow here. He's going to actually turn around. Dragon Man trying to take it out. He has the Ragnarok, but the damage will be enough. What Ragnarok does is remove all disables, but it also removes your bonus armor. And Magic is as well. Basagil flashes in, tries to connect to the Boomerang Blade. Basagil, can you get this? No, you cannot. Jeffrick kiting it out to the depths, the end of the earth, and the border of the rift. Jeffrick should probably back out now. He can't defend this up. Ooh, the laser! Not going to take out Basagil today. Raft LX there for a little bit of assistance. They did lose their turret, but what they gained was friendship. Gunblade Knight, without that laser, not going to be able to finish off Raft LX. Still popping the flash out of that support, which will definitely be a big escape down for later. Once we get into a fight, we haven't seen many big fights. Maybe 4 as the maximum members competing together, but as this base situation gets a little bit more dire, as Gail continues to squeeze out a lead. They're now 4,000 gold up. We could see turrets in their sights. They've already removed all the outer turrets from the map, so these inner turrets should be contested a little bit more vigorously. They're closer to the base. They're easier to get between. And with the wave clear from Mr. Blue Wind's Gunblade Knight and the last Tie Lord, it certainly should be a challenge to take him out. DYRONE knows he can't quite face up mono versus Olaf anymore, and so he's going to have to back off. He's actually going for what appears to be not a build at all. He has a couple of cloth armors, which probably is going to end Randuin's. He also has pieces of what looks like a Ravenous Hydra. He hasn't finished any of them, which is going to put him in a pretty rough spot. Dragon Man with his Blade of the Ruined King, and, oh, the coming storm. Once again going to fall there. The last Tie Lord finishing him off in a very appropriate manner. Raft LX assaulted, batteried, but escaping off the side, and it looks like this could be the turn around from Gail. A huge Soul Shackles doesn't stun anybody. Dragon Man now escaping off the side. DYRONE pops his Dominus, and Dragon Man turns around. He takes out Italian Legend, but he goes down. In the meantime, the last Tie Lord is looking huge. A double kill for him. He dashes in, but Basagil was able to grab it out. A double kill for himself. Is that going to be the triple kill? Basagil is able to win over the team fight in the end. The full ace coming here to Gail and Peton in dire straits. Now 5,500 gold down. Looking to try their best to defend this base, but who's alive but Jeffrick? And I don't think he can get there in time. Basagil auto-attacking away. He has a Bilgewater Cutlass on top of his Infinity Edge, going for an interesting build. Wants the mobility from a Blade of the Ruined King, more so than he wants crit or attack speed from a Zeal. Basagil just dashes in there, is able to pick up the turret, and then hops right back out. Raft LX proving to be the good little support he is. This has been such an interesting matchup since Renekton got relatively rolled in the top, whereas Sivir was on a rampage in the bottom lane. Everything's looking pretty even. And everything was during that fight up until the point when Basagil was able to just turn it around. Had the lifesteal, had the damage, and was able to pick up a triple. Now we're seeing a dragon attempt. The coming storm soloing this one out himself, and I think he's going to have to back up. They gave up a turret for nothing there. Mr. Blue Wind's in the last Tie Lord. In at a good spot. Dragon Man tries to turn around Italian Legend, but he may have pushed out a little bit too far. The coming storm is there from behind, and Dragon Man certainly not going to escape from this one. Basagil is able to grab his 10th kill of the game. A legendary Sivir doesn't want to stop there. Boomerang Blade doesn't connect too well, but he has the auto attacks to make up for that one. They did lose Karma. Raft LX, RIP, and Peaches. And Jeffrick, during all of that, was able to take out the dragon. So a whole lot of stuff everywhere. This is a bit of a cluster. With now CLG DYRONE, of course, he's just going to steal the enemy wolves. Basagil with some immense wave clear. Oh, going to cut off Jeffrick on his retreat home. I think if Jeffrick were a dog, he would have his tail between his legs, since he may have made a bit of a mistake there. Now giving up this inhibitor turret. No, they're going to be able to wave clear since Lux came from the side with her laser. Renekton in the top lane actually managing to 1v1 the last Tide Lord. I didn't even know that that fight was happening, but Renekton's looking pretty strong right now. He's finally almost completed an item, going for the Randuin's Omen before he finishes off his Ravenous Hydra, and once he gets that down, he'll be a formidable tank in a fight. Dragon Man, realizing he needs some survivability of his own, going the armor route. A Sunfire Cape gives him some nice residual damage in fights, while providing a lot of survivability up against Italian Legend, up against Basaldjilv and DYRONE as well. And we'll see if this new pickup can carry it out. Sivir's just looking so powerful right now. A Blade of the Ruined King, an Infinity Edge, and an Avarice Blade, because money, y'all. If he can turn that into a Static Shiv, that would be some immense attack speed, crit, and damage rolling through the team that I just don't know that they have enough to deal with. The Warden's Mail from Jeffrick should be a good help up against Sivir, but without a Randuin's Omen, it just won't be quite enough. Undertow connecting on the CLG DYRONE means this could result in yet another kill. Assault and Battery going to lock up DYRONE for a little bit of time, allowing Dragon Man to lay on as much damage as possible. He's able to grab out the kill, his 7th of the game, and that now leaves one down here for Team Peton. Gunblade Knight missing his abilities. Shit, man, he's too tanky. Raft LX lucky to escape today. Ooh, Jeffrick's going a Sivir hunting. He vault breakers right over the wall and connects on to Sivir, but there's no team to back him up. Sivir can just turn around. Jeffrick doesn't have the health for this. Meanwhile, his team, no, Dragon Man goes in, is able to find the kill, but they did lose Morgana. Mr. Blue Wind's falling before he was able to use his ultimate. Soul Shackle's really key part of the team composition. Italian Legend goes on the aggressive, but he doesn't have the health to sustain through that. Now Basaldjilv could finally have met his maker. The last Tide Lord going to fire his culling at the Rays. Angry at the Rays. And with Sivir escaping with her life, the rest of her team not quite so lucky. 4 members alive for Team Peton, now barreling down the middle lane. The respawn finally up for Raft LX. However, this turret could certainly be in danger. Jeffrick, Dragon Man, and the last Tide Lord doing their best. DYRONE throws a Dominus, goes in on the Dragon Man, shuts him down with the Ignite. DYRONE has to be careful. Assault and Battery might be enough to bring him down. Jeffrick finds the kill before falling to Basaldjilv. And with that Static Shiv, Sivir is looking frightening. That is a 13-1-7. Your eyes do not deceive you. If Sivir were to die 2 more times, the score would be elite, and we could all be done for the day. We could call it at that. Basaldjilv doesn't have a Warden there, but Gunblade Knight going to be able to recall safely. Raft LX throws the Warden just as that animation finishes. Basaldjilv will just go right back to doing what Sivir does best, shoving out waves, farming up, and grabbing what is now 205 CS, moving in onto the turret, looking to give even some more global gold over into the hands of Gail, and there it is. 7,000 gold in the lead. Ooh, the snare catches out Italian Legend, but they don't have the follow-up. Look at the damage from the support. Karma laying into the back line, but Dragon Man isn't afraid. They want to take out Basaldjilv here. He's still alive. The Undergo connects it, and finally, Dragon Man takes him out. That is the majority of the damage on the team. That might be what they need to come back here. Coming Storm turns around for a bit too long. The Assault and Battery will claim him out, and there it is. Peton removing Basaldjilv from the beginning of the fight, fighting an excellent 5v4, sorry, because DYRONE is up in the top lane, and once Raft LX finally gives up the Ghost, they should be able to continue right in onto the inner turret here, just keeping on their rampage through the bottom lane. This is looking like a really, really strong opportunity to make up a bit of that gold. They finally won a team fight, and we'll see what they can take out of it. Dragon isn't up for another minute, which means the respawns will be in time for Gail to contest this. However, Peton just going to be so pleased with that win. Ooh, they're staying in here, which may be a bit of an overextension. DYRONE pops, Dominus goes in here, and look at all the damage he's dealing. He has the Ravenous Hydra, he got the slow from the Randuins as well, but no, they're all able to escape on such low health. There wasn't the finish. Italian Legend wants some pickings, but I don't think he's going to find them. DYRONE as well. Snared up. Taking a light binding to the face. Italian Legend wants to cut them off. He pops the ultimate. Oh, There he goes, right into the Dragon Man, but that's not the target they need to start out with. The Coming Storm from behind, though, finds a quick double kill. Is that going to be the triple? No, it is not. DYRONE is able to find the last hit, but they did return 3 kills after that push. Dragon Man survived off the end. He was the initial brunt of the fight, but what it allowed was for the Coming Storm to fall behind, using that gate to teleport into the back ranks and remove Gunblade Knight, the Last High Lord, and Mr. Blue Winds. You can now see the awkward waiting period for Team Gail. It's like when you get in the elevator with a man who you may or may not recognize, and who then Vaultbreaker's in and tries to kill you in the face, but you escape in time because of the excellent ulted shield out of RaftLX, giving his team not only a shield but a good burst of movement speed. It's like a Talisman of Ascension, but without the item, you have to remember, because instead RaftLX has gone for a particularly aggressive build, you could say, with the Leandri's Torment, with the Frost Queen's Claim. That's a good amount of ability power and damage coming out from someone much more than what Morgana can bring. Morgana looking to build up a Rod of Ages at 30 minutes into the game. It's a difficult venture because Rod of Ages takes 10 full minutes to stack up to its maximum. You get 2 ability power per minute, which means that when you buy it, you have 20 fewer than you will at max stacks, and that can be rough since you have to be planning for the game to go 41 minutes to even want to buy that item. And at this point, I don't know that they are, since at that time, Sivir will just be so powerful, just dealing out massive damage with auto attacks. The Coming Storm as well should be able to really one-shot anyone he can get his hands on, especially since the Last High Lord doesn't have too many escapes in his belt. He has his Relentless Pursuit, but I just don't know that's enough to escape from the burst damage. Dragon Man 979 caught off the end. They have the On the Hunt from Sivir. Dragon Man flash over the wall and looks to survive. Oh no, Besajilv flashes over with DYRONE's Slice. The Dragon Man continues to escape here. He is leading Gail on a wild goose chase. We're 32 minutes in. Tensions are high. And Dragon Man running away. He's going into the base now. How can he escape from this one? Oh, Dragon Man. Oh, Dragon Man. Is he going for the execute? DYRONE not there in time. There are no recalls to cut him off either. He flashes in for the ignite to find the kill. Dragon Man falls. Oh, sweet prince. How we will miss you. What that did give was a lot of time over here for Peton to be able to shove up these waves to keep their base safe despite the fact that they're down a member, and now they're just going to be on the defense, waiting for Dragon Man to respawn from his base dive. Besajilv leading the charge may not be the best member they need. He goes in with the Blade of the Ruined King, but immediately gets taken out. The Last High Lord finding the kill there. Mr. Blue Winds with a good Soul Shackles, but they just don't have the health here. Italiano Legend able to get in for the triple kill. A double kill for the Last High Lord shut down. And so, an excellent teamfight win, even off the end of what was an odd Sivir engage. Turns out to be a solid play since DYRONE is able to tank up so much, since Italiano deals massive damage with his Ravenous Hydra, with his Spirit of the Elder Lizard. Dragon Man dealing his best, but I don't know that it's going to be enough. He does keep his turret alive. DYRONE really wants to take it out, but I guess Dragon Man's going to be enough to save this. They just couldn't deal with his auto attacks, and they knew they couldn't turn on him either. So our game will last just a little bit longer than we may have thought, since no inhibitors are down. Inhibitors are really the big measure of how the game is looking. An inhibitor is such an important part of your map control. If you can take it out, then you either can really cement your lead or come up from behind. Those super minions doing massive work. The Last High Lord really wanting to stop taking so much damage from Besajilv. Been having a really pretty rough time so far. He's 8-8-8. His score is not looking quite so pretty. If only Sivir didn't have those 2 assists, we could have seen the lead coming out. CLG DYRONE, they're going to interrupt his back. BM from Peton. Oh. Ooh. And nothing yet. Oh, the engage. Is it going to happen? Okay, guys. This is killing me. This is killing me, guys. You know what we need? There it is! DYRONE takes a laser to the face and still no engage. No, Basajil with a major amount of damage, but nothing to show for it. Well, the most interesting thing that's going to happen is the turret falling down. Dragonman979 claiming that for his team. The minions pushing in the top lane will keep them from their onslaught. Look at all these range creeps just pegging away at the turret. And right now, I'm not seeing too much action around the field. Don't they know? Don't they know this is for the YouTube? But I don't know that they know. I know they know I know. I know they know I know they know. Ooh, Baron, this is a pretty ballsy attempt. There's everyone left alive here for Peton, but they're bringing it down so quickly. DYRONE taking the brunt of the damage, will be on low health, but it looks like they'll finish it off with no contest. Gunblade Knight tries to come in time. Now Dragonman is rushed into the enemy team, taking a lot of damage, throws a Ragnarok, and Gunblade Knight, maybe the first of all. The Ignite is on his head. The last Tie Lord tries to throw a turnaround with the culling battalion. A legend claims him for himself. Dragonman979 not able to survive that either. And Mr. Blue wins. That's not grass. He did his best to camouflage himself, but without a Teemo passive, he had some difficulty at that. Morgana falling for the third kill in the spree. And with a Baron buff, DYRONE will just look to tank up this turret. Laser comes across. Finalis Funkain dealing some work, but it's just not going to be enough. The Coming Storm has about half of his health bar, but safely in the back. He won't be all too worried. They'll be able to move right down to this bottom lane. Look at the minion wave they've accumulated, and this will be a very quick endeavor. The Coming Storm has his Lichbane to remove structures quickly. Basajil has the attack speed from his Blade of the Ruined King, from his Static Shiv, and the damage from the Infinity Edge. And with those two inhibitors picked up, that's really looking like this game is in the hands of Gail. Of course, it's in their hands to win it or to throw it. We could always see some interesting sways. It's just a matter of if, when, and how hilarious it'll be. Except we're just going to back up. We're going to play it safe. All right, I can dig it. Are we try-harding much? Pfft. With those pickups, we'll see a Spectre's Cowl finish on top of the Sunfire Cape on Renekton. We'll just pan across the map. We'll have a little bit of fun. There is a Last Whisper for a solid late game on Natalia and a Legend. He's had that Guardian Angel for a while as well, which is really kept him from being the target in a fight, since they know if they take him down, they have to do it again. Lichbane and Void Staff completed on our Coming Storm pal, and he's transitioning into a solid late game as well. And then finally, Basajil finishing up his Guardian Angel, really at a full build here until he sells his boots and grabs a Zephyr. That's about as strong as he'll look this game. And this is really a terrifying Sivir. He's only up against a 4-item Lucian. He still has to get his Guardian Angel. He still has to get another item on top of that, most likely the Last Whisper. And so Sivir is just decades ahead, streets ahead, if we were Pierce. Oh, Gunblade Knight throwing out the final spark, but it just connects with some minions. That's not the most effective use of it at this point. It has a short cooldown. It's already a quarter up, so Lux will have it to use in the next team fight, hopefully. If it doesn't happen right now as Mr. Blue Winds takes so much damage, Italian Legend is unstoppable. Just barreling through the fight, removing Morgana. No soul shackles to come out in the next fight. Italian Legend takes a lot of damage, but is able to stealth away safely. He has his revive as well. Jeffrick tries to dive in the back of the fight, but he'll be systematically removed as well. DYRONE falling low, but able to escape as Italian Legend finds the double. Flashes in. He wants to turn on the last Time Lord. He jumps out. He has the revive. It'll be a bit of a waste of the Guardian Angel, but this is still looking like it could be the game. Italian Legend almost falling to the final spark, but without the kill, this will be the Gunblade Knight is able to pick up the kill. Cheeky from the side with the Lucent Singularity. The Nexus falling just after 40 minutes, and the win going here to Gail. Congratulations to the team of Italian Legend, the Coming Storm, Raft, LX, CLG, DYRONE, and Besajilv. And my condolences, but my deepest thanks for Jeffrick 1, Gunblade Knight, the Last High Lord, Mr. Blue Winds, and Dragonman 979 for a game well fought. Thank you all for coming out. Hope to see you next time. Not only do I cast and stream every day, but I upload very frequent episodes of Wood League All-Stars, where hopefully I'll be casting you in the future.